Hey guys, Stephanie with AmericanMuscle.com here with a review and install of this handling pack that pairs KONI's STR.T Shocks and Struts with Eibach's Pro-Kit Lowering Springs for 2011 to 14 GTs, V6s, and Boss Mustangs. In this video, we're going to talk about a few different topics when it comes to this handling kit. We're going to talk about the performance and handling benefits of the kit, and of course, we'll cover the install. I'll go over the install in more detail later on, but I can tell you right now that the install for this kit is easy and straightforward, but it is a little bit of work, so I'm going to call it a 2 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter. The KONI STR.T Shock and Strut and Eibach Pro-Kit handling package is going to be for those of you out there that are looking for a handling package that'll give you an entry-level upgrade with non-adjustable shocks and struts and a set of progressive springs that'll drop the car up to 1 inch in the front and 1.5 inches in the rear. This kit is perfect for those daily drivers that are performance-minded and want a little bit more from their handling. If you guys are looking for more of an upgrade, or to upgrade maybe some other handling components, there are some other kits that you can check out that will give you a little bit more depending on what you're looking for here. We do have a couple of things to talk about here since we are looking at a big kit, but the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the KONI STR.T Shocks and Struts. These are considered the entry-level option, and I mean entry-level in both price and performance. These are KONI Orange, which is 1 step below the KONI Sports or the KONI Yellows. Even though this is the entry-level kit, you are getting a bump in performance over your stock components. Now, while these are performance-oriented, you aren't getting the most performance-based kit with these here. These are non-adjustable as opposed to the adjustable options that you have. That means that they have a fixed rate of dampening, and these have the standard twin-tube gas pressure design and a steel body. But like I said, these are still an upgrade over the factory shocks and struts. If we move on to the Eibach springs, these are the Pro-Kit springs, and they are a progressive spring, which is going to make them a good option for those street cars that are out there. The springs do offer a range of drop depending on your exact model. If you have a GT, no matter if it's a coupe or convertible, you're looking at a drop of 1 inch in the front and 1.5 inches in the rear. The V6s can expect 0.8 in the front and 1.2 in the rear, and the Boss Mustangs can expect 0.6 in the front and 1 inch in the rear. I will say that it's normal to have a settling period with lowering springs. So if the initial drop is less than what you'd expect it to be, just know that the springs will settle a bit with some time and the car will drop a little bit lower. The springs and shocks and struts work hand in hand together. And normally if you're upgrading one, you are upgrading the other. So having a kit like this one here with 2 well-known brand names is always a plus. And any quick research on the forums will tell you that this kit is a popular kit and that these things really do work well together. If you want to take things a step further, you can always upgrade your strut mounts and you'll have a car that feels totally different. As far as price, you're looking at spending under $750 for this kit. You do save a little bit by purchasing these together in a kit, but you can always buy the parts separately as well if you don't want to spend everything all at once. And this is priced lower than the kit with the adjustable shocks and struts, but keep in mind that this is your base upgrade. There are a ton of different handling kits that offer different components depending on what you're looking for, so if you need something more than what this kit here offers, you have a lot of other choices. When it comes to the install, you can expect a 2 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter, and you're looking at 4 hours to get everything done. This isn't a very difficult install, but it does require some experience and some tools. You need a full socket set and a jack and jack stands, or a lift to get the car in the air, and a spring compressor to get the springs out and in. Once you have the car raised and the wheels removed, you'll need to pull your brakes out of the way. That means both your caliper and your rotor, so you can get to the front strut. Once that's out of the way, you'll pop the hood and remove the nuts holding your strut in place at the strut tower while supporting it from the bottom. Then remove the lower strut bolts and the end links. You pull the strut out of the vehicle and set it aside. You need to use the spring compressor at this point to install the Eibach spring onto the KONI strut. Once assembled, you'll reinstall this in reverse order and finish it off by tightening the upper strut tower bolts down to about 30 foot-pounds and the lower bolts and end links to about 85 foot-pounds. Once you're done with the fronts, you'll start the rears off the same way, removing the wheel and dropping the brake system out of the way to access the factory shocks. You may need to drop the rear sway bar out of the way because it may interfere with your access to the lower strut bolt. You'll want to support the differential housing in this process. The top bolt you'll tackle next, which can be found by removing the trunk liner out of the way on the bottom and the sides, and then you lower the jack just enough to remove the rear springs. At this point, you can reinstall the new KONI shocks and the Eibach springs in reverse order using the same torque spec, and then you're good to go. Just remember that you will need a full alignment after the install to realign your car and get everything back in spec. Wrapping things up here with the KONI STR.T Shock and Strut and Eibach Pro-Kit, this is a handling package that will give you Eibach's Pro-Kit Lowering Springs paired with KONI's Orange non-adjustable shocks and struts. These complement each other very well and work great for street cars and daily drivers that need some more performance from their cars. As always, you can check it out more online right here at AmericanMuscle.com.